What is this place? Capra, the central authority for philosophical research advancement. We study ways to apply philosophy to the world. It it's crazy to me to think that there could be any universe in any video game on any timeline where they're like, let's build a high-tech facility so that we can study philosophy. That's crazy. Since we heard what happened to you 3 years ago, we've mostly been studying the intelligent realm or intelligible realm. I may have requested to be your roommate to study your trips there. Are you okay? Take a deep breath. Must be totally overwhelming. Nah, that's cool. Actually, this all makes sense. Really? I mean, relatively, yeah. The existence of an afterlife dedicated to philosophy? Okay, that's pretty far-fetched. But I've been there. I know it exists. And once you've accepted the intelligible realm exists, it's only natural someone would be looking into it. Just didn't think the someone would be my mom and roommate. I was so looking forward to blowing your mind. You're so chill. Perhaps you could learn a thing or two, Jennifer. Must be Ariadne Jones. The boss speaks highly of you. And you are Marcus Plato, lead engineer. Or Plateau. The machinery you see, I'm responsible for it, including, I assume, the reason you've been brought here today. What is that? The pinnacle of our research, a portal to the intelligible realm. Are you serious? That's possible? I need the full backstory. Capra has always been Boss's pet project. She used up much of her clout to fund initiatives promoting philosophy. Our early efforts, however, left much to be desired. Millions were spent on educational software no one used. Our TV series was only slightly more successful. And then there was the musical. We don't talk about the musical. The point is, Capra wasn't working out, and Pythia knew it. We were sure to be shuttered until a single phone call changed everything. There was a plane of existence beyond this one, a world containing all the greatest thinkers, and I've been there. I thought Dad was ridiculous for telling her. I never realized she believed it. Pythia said Socrates isn't created enough to invent a lie like that. Oof. Needless to say, certain parties in government were very, very interested in this discovery. Our budget ballooned. And in time, we completed the portal you see before you. At first, we merely looked through it. We watched philosophers debate, getting new insights on their ideas and opinions on current events. But Pythia always dreamed of the opportunity to actually visit. So what? Mom just went through? Yeah, what gives, Marcus? We weren't supposed to test trans-dimensional travel until next year. You know how Pythia is. Light turned green and she dove in. Said she couldn't afford to wait. Light turned green. The portal only works when you're in there. We ride your connection to the realm. Yep, keeps getting weirder. Our portal only goes one way, but Socrates' account established the existence of a gate on the other side. Yeah, that's what we used to return last time. We believe that by traveling through the gate, we could bind it to our portal, creating a stable bridge between planes. That's how we'll achieve our ultimate goal, making the wisdom of the ages accessible to all. This just seems so evil until you realize that they have this military project to study philosophy. It's so funny to me. A very comfy couch that you can nap on when people are visiting, so you can have a break. Ooh. You know what I would have? Instead of the bookshelf going into the secret room, I would have a wall that has a bookshelf on it, and the wall would move, and like my entire computer area would be on a platform, and the platform would recess into the wall, aka secret room, and then I would be in a comfy area when people are visiting. Very expensive project, but you know, it might be worth it. Or I could just not invite people to my house. That might save a lot of money too. But if that's all she has to do, why isn't she back? I don't know. Ariadne, none of us can safely enter to see if something has gone wrong. But you can freely send your consciousness between the two planes. No, it's not a small thing to ask. I'll do it. Really? Of course I'll do it. I'm not going to let Mom spend eternity with dead philosophers, even if she has been using me to further her political ambitions again. Just gotta find a nice corner to nap in. Here in the lab. Sure, why not? Sleep deprivation is my superpower. Secret door that leads to a secret trap door that lets you fall into the kitchen. But also has a mode where you can operate mechanical arms to go inside the fridge and do things like pour yourself a glass of almond milk, or put some food in the microwave type thing. You know, menial tasks. Ariadne Jones, I'm glad you've returned. Okay, Arbiter, fess up. Where's Mom? I led her to the gateway. She need only step through to return to the land of the living. However, it appears she had other plans. See for yourself. That's where the time-traveling axelrods are going through. Coincidentally, I think the clip today is related to that. And as I stand here before the gate that leads back to my world, I can see a glorious future together. A brighter future where wisdom is valued by all. Philosophy will once again be respected as the invaluable profession it is. Children will sing the praises of Kierkegaard and Kant. So support our shared dream and tell everyone to vote Pythia. Gotta be kidding. Pumpkin, you're back. Mom, everyone at Capra is worried about you. You seriously stayed just to give a stump speech? These philosophers can't even vote. They can't vote, no, but they can get out the vote. Nothing unites the public like nostalgia for dead people. And if we can unite the public, we can accomplish anything. That's what makes our democracy the perfect political system. What? Mom, that doesn't even... What was that? Why is the gate closed? Last time it shut when Dad accepted the challenge to answer one of the great philosophical questions. But there's no challenge this time. Pythia Smith, if I may ask, what was the last thing you said? That's what makes our democracy the perfect political system. Ah, that explains it. While no formal challenge was issued, the senator just tackled one of the great questions. What is the ideal government? And it seems the gate found her answer lacking. So it closed, trapping her here, perhaps forever. What? That's... Let me out, you unpatriotic portcullis. Are you serious, Arbiter? That's it? Mom's just stuck here forever? No, I said perhaps forever. She's still alive, after all. The gate will reopen if presented with a viewpoint internally consistent and compatible with the realities of the world. If her position evolves or is proven to be as sound as she believes, That should suffice. Oh boy, I know where this is going. It is time. You're going to suggest we debate a bunch of political philosophers, aren't you? You know me so well. Can we just skip to the end, say there's no societal structure that won't have fatal issues, and get her out of here? Is that really what you think the answer is? We'll see what we can do about that. So, Arbiter, if I can prove my position is valid, we can leave. That is one approach, yes? Perfect. We do that, and the philosophers will have to endorse me. Let's get started. I like how she grabs the pin on her coat, you know, like when she gets smug. Wonderful. It's been too long since I've had fresh pupils. Fresh pupils. I'm over 50. A mere drop in the ocean when compared to my thousands. Pythia Smith, Ariadne Jones, allow me to introduce Kong Chiu, known to you as Confucius. Born during the spring and autumn periods of Chinese history, his ideas have greatly influenced the world. They had a particular impact during the Han Dynasty, a period of growth and prosperity for the region. Well, we're here to test how his political philosophy holds up now. Tell us, Confucius, what is the ideal form of government? When building a home, is it not best to start at the foundation? Ruling is a role like any other, an important role, but a role nonetheless. In order to understand that role, we must first understand the importance of roles themselves. Here we go. Okay, bye, Mom. I have a life to live. Specifically almond milk? That's the only milk that I drink nowadays. I could go back to cow's milk, but I actually like almond milk. It's tasty. I was one born during 2 different seasons, separated by 1 season in between. People in ancient times had very specific powers. The job of any government is to keep a kingdom running smoothly. For a kingdom to function smoothly, however, everyone must fulfill the titles they're assigned. Whenever people assume roles and titles they do not own, strife and chaos will result. Good governance thus consists of the ruler being a ruler, the minister being a minister, the father being a father, and the son being a son. Society depends on individuals performing their duties. Thus, the goal of every individual in every role should be to achieve Ren, the perfect fulfillment of their duties towards others, their ancestors, their superiors, their children, and their gods. Thank you for your insight, Confucius. Now, if you'd like... No need, Arbiter. The issues here are plain. Oh? Let me tell you about a boy I met in Albany the other day. Little Timmy Jonas. He'd love nothing more than to fit the role you prescribe, to be a son. I'm impressed. Timmy Jonas is wise for, but poor Timmy has no parents. You see, they gave their lives for their country. Confucius here would accuse poor Timmy of neglecting his duties, blame him for all the ills in the world. I don't believe I would. But I have you on record. Good government consists of the son being a son. Clear my opponent hates orphans, but to the Timmys, hold on, pause. Mom, what are you doing? This is a total straw man argument. You're just using loaded imagery, not engaging in real debate. I'm bolstering my cause with an appeal to humanity. Meanwhile, he's papering over blatant problems with his old wise man shtick. What do you think his focus on roles and traditions means for us, huh? Sure, Confucius's gender politics are fine, right, Confucius? Well, it is important for the wife to honor... Okay, never mind. That's not going to help. Look, Mom, sure there are issues here, But you taught me the best way to separate good ideas from bad is to examine those ideas and ask the right questions. If there's anything in Confucius's ideas worth learning from, we should explore them. Or shouldn't we explore them? After all, proving your point isn't the only way we could leave. If your opinion changes, that would work too. I don't see that happening, but give it a shot, Adney. Let the youth lead, right? Is this for real? She should be amazing at this. But she's treating these discussions of politics like politics, and now she's dragged me into the middle of it. Even if I take over for her, will she ever change her mind? I have to try. Fine. Arbiter, can I handle this one? Of course, Ariadne Jones. I must say I'm pleased. Don't push it. Let's do this, Confucius. Confucius talking about running a government. His experience comes of a line of dynasties that fell one after the other. You got this, democracy. Confucius say, place pot of greed in deck. We'll let you draw 2. Plus 1 card advantage. Very good. The job of any government is to keep a kingdom running smoothly. I feel like we don't need any clarification on that. We'll come back to that. For a kingdom to function smoothly, however, everyone must fulfill the titles they're assigned. Can you clarify that? Every title comes with its own set of expectations. A singer must sing, a fisher must fish, a banker must bank. If individuals neglect these responsibilities, society as a whole cannot function. Okay, but how do these titles get assigned? A combination of inheritance and innate ability. Some titles people are born into, son, daughter, noble. Others we gain through experience, teacher, soldier, philosopher. We prove we deserve titles by performing them well. Through valor or neglect, titles can change. In the end, all claims must be reconciled with reality. Titles must be earned. Added to the idea slate. Imagine a kingdom where builders refused to build and farmers failed to farm. A society where no one felt any obligation to do anything. Okay, I'm imagining it. And what do you see? Not much. Some people are sitting in the dirt, eating the dirt. It's not very tasty. Dirt rarely is. Your imagination has served us well. When individual roles are not performed, the whole cannot exist. But when all are assigned roles in which they are diligent, society will thrive. Okay. Strife and chaos. Clarify that. One cannot simply claim to be a teacher. To be a teacher, one must teach. Many who are unqualified claim to be things they are not. They boast and posture in order to deceive others. This results in the strife and chaos I mentioned, uncertainty and distrust that erodes the foundation of society. On the other hand, those who are worthy speak modestly, but confidently. They know they are deserving. Is it not better for roles to be filled by the truly worthy? I still got you, Stink. I think challenging right here is the right way to go about it, but I'm gonna keep going. Support the strife and chaos. Imagine that builders tried to farm and that farmers tried to build. Is the problem not apparent? One cannot grow a house, nor can one build a tree. Could be interesting to try. Not again. Again? You did try, Adney. When you were 7, the tree you built fell through the window. I was 7, and let us all be thankful Ariadne did not choose construction or gardening for her career. Indeed, performing duties one does not deserve is even more disastrous than performing no duties at all. Haters. You're a depressioner, an essential part of this society. What counts as teaching and being qualified to do so? So I think that the flaw in Confucius's argument here is that, like, you have to, like, you have to do the job that you're not, like, in order to find the job that you can do, you have to work at being that job. So you have to do a job that you are not assigned to get good at that job. I think that's the flaw. Good government comes from the ruler being the ruler. Clarify. In an ordered society, everyone knows their duties and fulfills them to the best of their abilities. Support that. It flows from my previous statements. If roles are important to a functioning society, then a good government is one that emphasizes such roles. You've seen many flaws? You're a flawer, after all. I gotcha. Alrighty. I'm going to do the connections real quick, and then I'm going to challenge. Establishes the order is built upon roles. If we did not have them or perform them, society would come to a halt. Alright. Let's challenge. Confucius, I found a problem with your argument. Would it not be wise to be more cautious in your assertions? After all, the cautious rarely err. Fortunately, Adne is far from cautious. And more unfortunately, she has erred. Oh. Okay, maybe it's this one. I'll connections this one. I mean, it could work for this one. You know, titles they're assigned, titles must be earned. Disconnected establishes the dangers of individuals claiming titles they do not deserve. Well, we'll try on this one.
Nonsense!
Confucius. For society to function, everyone must stick to their roles, correct? Correct. And people prove themselves worthy of these roles by performing them well. Should one not dance before claiming to be a dancer? Such requirements seem only logical. Each building block has logic, yes. But when the blocks are all placed, you've walled yourself in. Do elaborate, my pupil. Your philosophy creates a cycle of requirements with no real entry point. We have to deserve jobs to perform them, but we have to perform jobs to deserve them. How are we ever supposed to try anything new? Astute observation, Ariadne Jones. Thank you, Arbiter. Experimentation is essential to growth. My favorite teacher once told me, take chances, make mistakes, and get messy. But the motto in your school, Confucius, entry-level position, 5 years of experience required. Oof. Oof. I feel that one. I feel that one in my soul. I've seen those jobs. My teachings are not so rigid. When essential duties are complete, one is free to direct energy toward other productive ends. But what defines productive, especially when success involves practice or luck? I've never released a pop single, but I've thought about it. How will I ever know if that's my ideal role? What do you think, Mom? Should I drop out of college and become a pop star?
Nonsense.
Wow, he feels that strongly about my pop career, huh? Is it not foolish to assume the only role of value is that of the expert? Acknowledging yourself as a student of a discipline is a title unto itself. Humility and willingness to learn do wonders. To pursue the title of pop star, one should first take on the title of pop apprentice. By studying under a superior who is more experienced, you learn how to fulfill your role. If only Taylor had answered my letters. Oh, oh, the swift denial. Our superiors, parents, teachers, and governors demonstrate for us how to be better. And with this observation, we answer your initial question, the ideal form of government. For as we look to superiors for guidance, the one at the top must be a model for all. Confucius believes the model of a superior is necessary to know how to perform any role well. Those bearing the title of ruler stand at the top of society and shape it through self-discipline. Though orders, punishments, and coercion may help in the short term, they do nothing for the people's sense of duty. But simply by embodying this title well, the ruler provides the essential model to inspire all to live up to their roles. The ruler thus becomes like a pole star, remaining in place while the lesser stars pay homage. The moral relationship between superiors and inferiors is like the wind to the grass. The grass must bend when the wind blows across it. When the ruler embodies his role, the people will be inspired to play their own. So the role-playing continues. You should get into an RPG, Confucius. I think you'd make a good wizard. Master Kong would never be a wizard. I don't know. Long beard, flowy robes, excessive use of metaphor. Wizards are the natural enemies of philosophers. Nothing they do makes sense. Well, Confucius is definitely living in a fantasy land, at least. Mom, Annie, look, remember my first campaign for the school board? I was 6. All I wanted was to protect humanities classes in our district. And it was going fine until I said offhand that people should pay better attention to their nutrition. My opponent published a big expose on how I wanted to ban pie. They even labeled it Pie-geddon. I thought if I led by example, laughed it off, it'd pass, but taking the high road didn't work. I lost. I am troubled such behavior still exists. Even in my time, legalism was emerging as a prominent movement. Legalists overlooked the value of tradition and honest work, instead emphasizing deception, hidden intentions, and the power of law itself. But do you truly believe the world is better for having such leaders? If stronger examples had been set, your opponent would never have used such deceitful tactics. Well, I beat him soundly in the next election. No one remembers him now. Time to ask Confucius your questions, Ariadne. Alrighty. So we have... Contemporaries of Confucius found duplicitous practices and harsh punishments were the best way to maintain power. Well, that's... I guess that doesn't necessarily do that, but alright, let's... those bearing the title of ruler stand at the top of society and shape it. Clarify. Ruler stands above all. In such a position, their virtue will influence all. Back it up. Figures such as a king or emperor are known to everyone. As a result, their conduct can influence an entire kingdom. As children act out, if the parent goes astray, so too will subjects respond to their king. Thus, the ruler embodies virtue, or embodying virtue is essential to make the people want to be virtuous. let's connect this. This is the core premise. We know those below need a model above, and this establishes the ruler is a natural model. Alright. Though orders, punishments, and coercion may help in the short term, they do nothing for the people's sense of duty. Can you clarify this for me? Threats can make someone act, but cannot make someone want to act. Not truly. Back it up. You can convince someone to do the right thing under threat of force, but they will not truly desire to do that thing. In such a situation, will they not break from their duties the moment they can avoid being caught? But when someone wants to do good, you no longer need to ask at all. So all is more stable when people internalize the pursuit of rent. About the connection. It's not wise to eliminate the legalist idea that rulers should operate through laws and fear. If such techniques were ideal, rulers would have no need to be just. Right, because no ruler has ever been successful by being a jerk. I'm glad you agree, Senator. Whoosh, right over his head. Though disagreeable figures may hold power for a while, that is not success. They are inherently lesser beings. Okay, maybe not whoosh. That felt like a clapback. But it's possible his earnestness accidentally owned Mom's sarcasm. But simply by embodying his title well, the ruler provides the essential model to aspire to all to live up to their roles. Clarify. The ruler provides a model to all of what it means to own a title. The people will see the king as a beacon of worthiness and thus feel the need to be worthy as well. Back it up. Do individuals not look to their superiors for guidance? Apprentices from masters, children from parents, all need a model to inspire them. In my time, I inferred this from observation, but recent studies also support this notion. Seeing another model kindness makes one want to be kind. And as the superior of all, the ruler provides such a model for everyone. For everyone, huh? Connected. Establishes why and how the ruler acting justly results in a stable kingdom. By providing a model to all, they anchor the whole of society. The ruler thus becomes like a pole star, remaining in place while lesser stars pay homage or homage. Let me clarify. I mean, I'll be honest, I have no idea what a pole star is. Pretty sure the first thing coming to mind is wrong. You must have recognized this. This is another metaphor. Of course, more evidence for wizard court. Well, in this case, the metaphor is apt because the pole star is stationary while other stars move around it. The king will similarly be stationary in his virtue. His virtue will guide his subjects. Back it up. As stars guide sailors in the seas, so too does the ruler guide his people. Don't sailors have better tools these days, like Google Maps? Google Maps usually doesn't work in the middle of the ocean, Pumpkin. What? Also, letting your opponent double down on their colorful metaphor is a rookie political mistake. You want to attack the substance, not the sizzle. His previous statements are what led here, right? Go for those. Connection. This metaphor merely provides another lens for my overall point. Not strictly necessary, I admit, but it helps tie everything together. How tired am I of metaphors? They're kind of fun. Yeah, I'll let it slide. It's a nice metaphor. I'm clearly in good company. Not everyone appreciates my rhetorical flourishes. Okay, so... Which one of these would be the proper attack? By embodying his title well, the ruler provides the essential model to aspire all to live up to their roles. The thing is legalism, like, okay. Let's say maintaining, he's not necessarily saying it there. And he's not really talking about sense, like he's talking about sense of duty here. I guess superior man could go here. If you're a model superior, then you wouldn't need to resort to those things. I'll try that. Dang it. Not a problem with your argument. It might be wise to be more cautious in your assertions. After all, cautious. Okay. We'll try legalism here. Nope. I didn't think that was the case either. I don't know about this one. So, the best way to prove yourself worthy of a new title and the obligations that come with it is to perform those obligations. So, you think its titles must be earned? I think it could be that too. But is it argument 3 or is it argument 1? The ruler through self-discipline is flawed. So those bearing the title of ruler stand at the top of society. So we're saying that how can you stand at the top of society? How do you prove yourself worthy of the title of ruler? I don't know if I'd go with that one. Then again, I don't know if I would go with this one either. How do you earn the title of ruler? It's by being an essential model for others to live up to their roles? Is that the ideal leadership quality? I'm gonna try this one.
Nonsense!
I got it. Confucius, the ideal you describe sounds nice. A ruler guiding the people, helping them find their ideal titles and inspiring the best in all. I really have one key question. Who inspires the inspirer? I don't understand. You claim a model of worthiness is essential to keep everyone on the path of Ren. As the one at the top, responsibility falls on the ruler to be that model, embodying virtue for all. But where would this ruler get their model from? Who establishes the ideals of their title? There's no one above to keep them in line. Excellent point, Ariadne Jones. Agreed. This'll pull great with millennials. Thank you, Arbiter. And Mom, I guess. You've confused us, Confucius. As is, we have no way to know if the ruler is truly fulfilling their duties. Should such an important position really stand without any checks? Should we follow in blind faith? We could easily be stuck with an inferior superior, and your entire system would fall to pieces.
Nonsense.
It appears I still have more to learn about you. I see how the question of how a ruler becomes worthy of his title could be an issue. And when you have faults, you should not fear to address them. But is there not an easy way to tell if a ruler has obtained Ren? Is there? Sorry, you phrase so many things as questions, it's hard to tell which ones are actually rhetorical. That one was. Just as sunlight helps a tree to grow strong, so too will nature help a ruler find his place. A government's right to rule comes from heaven, granting power only to worthy models of Ren. Rulers who act poorly will be plagued by famine and misfortune, inevitably leading to their downfall. If a ruler is in power, they must still have the mandate, as there is no way to keep power without virtue. So we know what we're going to challenge here. As such, the entire system remains balanced. I hope this helped clarify the matter. Okay, forget wizard, this guy's a freaking cleric. So wait, you really think the right to rule is granted by heaven? Indeed, those who do not deserve to rule will naturally be deposed, and others worthy of the throne will rise. The Qin fell to the Han fell to the Shin. For each, the mandate expired when they strayed from the path. Only by staying just can such a fate be avoided. Pumpkin. I know, you think it's all ridiculous. The idea of a mandate of heaven long predates Confucius himself, though it clearly features prominently in his thoughts. And this concept was hardly exclusive to the region. Europe held a similar ideal, the divine right of kings. Yes, even now people will claim politicians like they are gifts from God. But that doesn't mean, unfortunately, simply rejecting an idea changes few minds, especially an idea as widespread as this. But if you can find a substantial conflict in their worldview, your odds will be much improved. Right then, roll for initiative. All right. So I think this one goes legalism. But I'm gonna fish for more things first. Manadrad was on the right track. Universal translator in that realm is pretty good. It's pretty good. You like how they use terms and understanding from Confucius's time, like mandate of heaven? They did that in the first game too. You know, they keep things rocking. All right, a government's right to rule comes from heaven, granting power only to worthy models of Ren. Clarify. Without the favor of heaven, it is impossible to reach the throne. After all, the mandate will only select the worthy. Back it up. In order for an individual to achieve power, many factors have to line up in their favor. These factors aligning amounts to a miracle, and such a miracle would only be granted to the worthy. We can therefore trust they will serve as a model for all. But what about the son of an emperor? Don't they just become ruler when dear old daddy dies? If the family still possesses the mandate, then yes, but fate can intervene. After all, it is not difficult to seize control from an unworthy child. Or is it? We still don't have a woman date? A woman date? Woman date? Connected. It establishes that in order to rule, an individual must already be worthy, thus guaranteeing those who reach the throne embody Ren. Rulers who act poorly will be plagued by famine and misfortune, inevitably leading to their downfall. Clarify. The moral sickness of the ruler will be reflected in the state of their kingdom. Natural disasters, scandals, and suffering will surround the nation from all sides. These issues will make it increasingly difficult to maintain control until the ruler is finally deposed. Back it up. Yes, please. Disasters don't happen just because a ruler isn't kind enough. I can understand why you might be skeptical of this idea, and I do indeed believe nature punishes those of poor character. But even if we set that aside, the core idea here does not require disasters to be caused by the ruler. A ruler proves unqualified to deal with the crises that emerge. Do these crises not become worse? Mismanagement can amplify even the smallest ember into an all-consuming blaze. You have seen the unjust fall out of favor yourself. Did you not defeat the one who vilified you for disliking pie? I made that happen myself, no mandate. Also, let the record show I'm perfectly fine with pie. Well, regardless of what you believe, heaven was clearly on your side. Without the mandate, the unworthy cannot keep power. Connected. This establishes that only just rulers will be able to keep power. For when the kingdom is beset by calamity, the people will know the ruler has lost the mandate. Right? If a ruler is in power, they must still have the mandate, as there is no way to keep power without virtue. I feel like that in of itself is a contradiction, because if you have the mandate, you are maintaining virtue. But once you stray off of the mandate, you're still in power, but you're not virtuous anymore. Clarify. I mean, any ruler who is still in power must be just enough to maintain the mandate. After all, there is no other way to stay in power, not without the support of heaven. No other way to stay in power, huh? Interesting. Yeah, so the game has the giving me that little hint right there, letting me know, like, yeah, you had the right idea. Back it up. If you knew injustice and cruelty guaranteed you would be removed from power, you would have no choice but to rule fairly. Thus, the divine mandate forces rulers to be benevolent. But you're essentially saying that as long as someone manages to stay in control, they must still have the mandate. This is correct, no matter what they're doing. A leader can only maintain control through just actions. Do we have reason to doubt this? Yes, we do. Connected. Is this not the logical conclusion of my argument? The ruler must be just to keep fortune on their side and maintain the mandate. This cuts off many despotic options a ruler would have, guaranteeing they serve as a beacon for all. Is that so? As such, the entire system remains balanced. Clarify. Mandate is the final piece needed to establish our ideal kingdom. With it in place, the whole of government will surely embody Ren. Back it up even though you just backed it up. Mandate corrects the issues you had with the ruler. It guarantees they will be a worthy model, a role model. And with a worthy model at the top, how can the people not be inspired to be better? That's just what you argued earlier. Indeed, by guaranteeing the character of the ruler, the mandate addresses your main concern. As a result, the entire system will remain stable. Connect your conclusion to the rest of your argument. Does the statement not connect this argument to the history of our discussions? Does it? Adney, please. You had to know that was another rhetorical question. It clearly does. I was pretty sure, but can you imagine if it hadn't been? Well, rhetorical question. Let's move on. Get bodied. Alrighty. So, Confucius believes the model of superior is necessary. Well, I guess we go with legalism here.
Nonsense!
You mandate a pecan pie Friday. I haven't seen pecan pie at the store in a long time. And I don't know if my teeth can go through another pecan pie, but my mind says yes. Okay, there's something to the idea that a leader can inspire and shape their subjects. I've cried during too many climactic movie speeches to not believe that. If we could guarantee the quality of the ruler, that could do a lot of good. So it almost hurts to say none of this holds together at all. You go on. It is my turn to listen. On a fundamental level, the logic of the mandate is circular. It's what makes it so difficult to disprove. The ruler will be just because they have to keep the mandate. The mandate's favor promises the ruler will be just. A is true because B is true. Why is B true? Because A is true. But such circular logic is ripe for exploitation by the very legalist demagogues you despise. How so, Ariadne? Let's quickly review what works here. Regardless of if the mandate exists, if the ruler believes being unjust leads to divine retribution, that belief itself serves as a check on their behavior, a placebo effect encouraging benevolent leadership. But that ruler is only motivated by the fear of losing the mandate, exactly the sort of external incentive Confucius says doesn't hold. So what happens when that weakly motivated ruler acts unjustly? What happens when they get away with it? Sooner or later, but the damage will still be immense. The ruler either loses faith in the mandate, or worse, believes the fact they've kept power proves they're right. From that point, the situation decays rapidly. That ruler could use devious tactics to keep the crown, gaining advantage over all. The mandate becomes nothing more than an excuse for the powerful to keep their power. It alone is not enough to guarantee anything. Did that not make sense? In my life, I've identified 3 central methods through which we may learn wisdom. The first, reflection, is noblest. The second, imitation, is easiest. The third is experience, and it is the bitterest, so bitter it can be overwhelming. You have given me more to reflect on, my pupil. I must thank you. Very well presented, Ariadne Jones. I believe that concludes this debate. I require time to select a new challenger. This discussion has given me several ideas. Confucius, if you'll come with me. Ah, in the intelligible realm, a request from the arbiter is as close as we get to a mandate of heaven. Thank you for your time, my pupils. I hope you find what you seek. Now tell him he stinks. I got an achievement. I guess my achievements are not popping up on this screen. Well, Mom, what did you think? Confucius's philosophy was interesting, right? Despite the flaws. It's neat how just believing in an idea can have an impact. I admit that went better than I expected. You're good at this, Pumpkin. I need you on my debate prep team. Pass. But while it was good, I'm not sure it was good enough. Confucius may have more to reflect on, but reflection won't bring out the votes. I needed him convinced, Adney, fully on board with our cause. I'm sure the more distance he gets from this, the more he'll revert back to his same core views. But hold on, we just need to learn something, right? So we can get you out of here. Aw, Pumpkin, that's sweet. But I need to get out of here with the philosophers behind me. Otherwise, I might as well stay here forever. Wait, she can't really mean. I need to take a walk, clear my head. See if there is any sandwich shops in the intelligible realm. I'm hungry. Should have known it wouldn't be easy to get her to back down. Guess I should update Jen and Marcus on what's going on. We might be here for a while. Chapter 2. Fit for a Prince. You love this game? Fun? Educational? Good use of the medium? Look at that. We got another person on board.